What happened to the smartest girl at your school? They used to call me the smartest girl in school. Valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, full ride to an Ivy League university. My brain was my currency, the one thing I could always rely on. It was sharp, organized, and fast. It was mine. The night my son was born, in the sterile quiet of a private hospital room, my mother-in-law, Beatrice, sat in the visitor's chair and explained, with the calm precision of a vivisectionist, how she had spent the last 2 years systematically dismantling it. I was supposed to be in a fog of exhaustion and medication, a blissful, hazy new mother. But the epidural had worn off faster than expected, and the morphine drip was slow. I was lucid. I was trapped in my own body, unable to move much, but my mind, for the first time in a long, long time, was terrifyingly clear. "You have my husband's eyes, you know," she said, her voice a low, proprietary hum. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking at the plastic bassinet where Leo slept, a tiny, perfect creature who knew nothing of the world he'd just entered. My Arthur, strong eyes. But the rest of him, that's all Mark, my son. It's a pity the boy will have your nerves. She smoothed a non-existent wrinkle on her cashmere sweater. But we can manage that. I managed it in you, after all. A cold dread, colder than the linoleum floor, seeped into my bones. For 2 years, my life had been a slow, inexplicable unraveling. It started with a tremor in my hands, then a persistent brain fog that made my graduate work feel like deciphering ancient Greek. Panic attacks, once a relic of my teenage years, came back with a vengeance, ambushing me in the grocery store in the middle of a lecture. My doctor diagnosed it as a severe relapse of my generalized anxiety disorder, exacerbated by the stress of academia. He prescribed new medications, higher doses. I saw therapists. I meditated. I did yoga. Nothing worked. The fog only thickened. I dropped out of my PhD program, a humiliation that felt like a death. Mark, my sweet, worried husband, was endlessly supportive, but I could see the confusion in his eyes. I was the smart one, the capable one. Now, I could barely remember if I'd locked the front door. Beatrice sighed, a sound of theatrical patience. It was the tea, mostly. A special blend. Just a few little herbs, things a person can find in any dedicated garden. Not enough to be obvious, of course. Just enough to amplify, to create a state of perpetual imbalance. Your anxiety was the perfect foundation to build upon. A pre-existing condition, the doctors would say. And they did. She smiled, a thin, satisfied line. It made you so much more manageable, so much more dependent. My blood turned to ice. The tea. Every time she visited, at least twice a week, she brought a thermos of her calming chamomile blend. She'd pour me a cup with a flourish, telling Mark how she was taking care of his high-strung wife. I drank it because I was desperate for anything that might quiet the screaming in my own head. I drank it because refusing would have caused a scene, and I no longer had the strength for scenes. I saw it all in a sickening, instantaneous flash. Every forgotten word, every dizzy spell, every wave of nausea I'd blamed on stress, every panic attack that felt alien and unprompted. It wasn't me. It was her. Why? The word was a dry rasp, barely audible. My throat felt like it was full of sand. She finally turned her gaze on me, and there was no warmth in it, only a chilling, assessorial clarity. Mark was losing his way. He was putting you on a pedestal, this brilliant mind he'd married. He was forgetting his obligations, to his family, to our name. A man needs a wife who supports him, who needs him, not one who competes with him. I simply corrected the balance. I made you the wife he needed. A bit fragile, a bit lost, someone he could protect. And now, she gestured toward the bassinet, now you've given him a son. Your primary purpose is fulfilled. You can just be a mother. No more need for all those ambitions. Full story on channel link below.